If you were looking to be an evil prick and do damage, you could do it with this. No one's talking about banning that kind of firearm. Why? Because it's wood. We're going to debunk today. Let's go through the top AR-15 myths because that's what everyone is talking about. So first, question of the day, what do you think? Is this really about banning AR-15s after this shooting? Do you think that'll work or is it a Trojan horse? I genuinely want to know because right now, and it seems whenever there's a public shooting, they pick a topic and right now it is AR-15, that's enemy numero uno, as opposed to going after all guns, which I think is a little bit of a bait and switch. So this has been making the rounds everywhere. Things like this regarding the AR-15. Here's a woman.
The only way that I can know for sure that this gun will never hurt anyone is if it doesn't exist. I'm not going to let the Second Amendment anymore be used as an excuse for considering children as collateral damage in this country.
The only way to ensure that her inanimate object did not harm somebody. It makes sense that we found the rifle in question. Yeah, she had to be.
Oh, yeah.
It's shifty. Of course. And then this has been making the rounds. This guy destroying his AR-15. It's everywhere. It's all over Facebook and Occupy Facebook, Democrats for Bernie Sanders, whatever. Watch.
When do we make laws that say maybe a weapon like this isn't acceptable in today's society? Is the right to own this weapon more important than someone's life? There's so many of them out there. Well, now there's one less.
No, there is one more highly illegal rifle.
highly
illegal rifle that no longer fits the government's requirements. I hope someone sends somebody after him. Now, I know obviously the spirit of it is a sawed-off shotgun because of the spread, but still, you're not allowed to do that. So.
Sawed-off shotguns, by the way, also, most places, very...
No, yeah, that's the point. That's why they're illegal. But the fact that I don't think that was his gun. The fact that he knows so little about firearms and firearm safety, I believe he borrowed an AR. I believe he borrowed a fake AR-15, and the Illuminati did.
That was the Keltec AR-15.
Yes. So let's go through the top claims that you usually hear about AR-15s. Myths. Myth number one, AR-15s are the most deadly firearms in the world. Certainly the most deadly available to the public. We've been hearing this a lot lately. This sort of claim made by someone like Senator Nelson. Here you go.
You're looking at somebody who supports the Second Amendment.
They always preface
right
it that
to bear
way,
arms. I grew up here
here
in Florida on a ranch. I have always had guns since I was a little boy. I have hunted all my life. I still hunt with my son. But an AR-15 is not for hunting. It's for killing.
Well, how do you hunt, asshole?
Because that kills too. I don't like to kill my prey. I just like to just wound
when I go after a grizzly, I just want to get it really pissed off.
So that it'll kill me.
And of course, this echoes a statement that the notorious statement now that was made by Joe Biden not that long ago.
You don't need an AR-15. It's harder to aim, it's harder to use, and in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself.
Is that a fact?
Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Yeah.
And fire indiscriminately into the air.
Yeah.
So
clearly they have a gang rape by 30 people.
Yes. First off, guns are killing tools. Okay, and this is why I think this is important. They're killing tools. So if you're just going to ban one because you're saying it's more effective at killing, it's not about the AR-15. It's that you want to ban firearms. And I really do believe that's the overall agenda here, and I'll get to why. Because even with just rifles, we're talking about AR-15s, but just rifles, there are plenty of firearms out there that are more dangerous than AR-15s. If you're just talking about saving one life, there are plenty more rifles that are semi-automatic, that can carry as much ammo as AR-15s, that use ammunition that's as powerful or more powerful than the AR-15. The 223 it's not anything formidable. Some argue it's basically a varmint round. It's lighter for the military to carry. Some examples of these firearms. No one's talking, for example, about the Ruger Mini 30. It looks unassuming enough, except that's the same firearm on the bottom. That's the exact same gun. Oh, by the way, it fires the same caliber as an AK-47.
Ooh, what's that?
Have you heard anyone talk about banning what is commonly used for deer hunting or certainly bird hunting, semi-automatic shotguns? Have you heard them talk about that? No, this is what they can do. Now, let's look at the side-by-side damage in a ballistics gelatin test from a 12 gauge versus a 223. Now, some people are going to get mad at me saying, don't do this, liberals are going to want to take away the 12 gauges now. Don't blame me, okay? These facts are out there. Don't blame me. Semi-automatic, not even rifles, now handguns, Glock 17. It's used by law enforcement. Glock 17-19, I think it's the most popular firearm platform in the world.
Yep, period.
17 rounds in that magazine.
Wow.
Do you hear people talking about banning those? One of my favorite firearms that I have, this is a basic lever action. So this is actually one of the few that's not semi-automatic because it's lever action. This holds 13 rounds of .357 Magnum, arguably the most effective handgun round known to man. Don't get into a caliber war right now. It's that much more effective when coming out of a longer rifled barrel. Just how fast could you shoot this firearm? Here's a world record. Granted, he's the exception, not the rule. But realistically, 13 rounds of 357 Magnum myself, you've shot with this one. What
fantastic.
Let's say watermelon, unloaded, just to make sure you know.
Yeah.
Watermelon-sized target at 50 yards, how fast could you shoot this? Probably about... If you were looking to be an evil prick and do damage, you could do it with this. No one's talking about banning that kind of firearm. Why? Because it's wood.
Little maple never hurt anybody.
It looks less assaulting.
It looks less assaulty.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the googly eyes on it. So myth number 2, and this is one it's really fast. Let's just skim over this. That AR stands for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite.
Armalite. That's the company who came up with it. It's an unfortunate acronym for their
That's
name.
it.
But, you know.
Just, we're not going to provide anyone, Google it. So myth number 3, that the AR-15 is an automatic rifle. You hear this a lot. So you don't need it. It's the most dangerous firearm out there. It's an automatic rifle. Claimed by the media. Here's Don Lemon saying just that.
I think most people can go out and buy an automatic weapon.
Don, what is your definition of an automatic weapon? What is your definition of an automatic weapon?
Well, for me, an automatic weapon is something that you can shoot off a number of rounds very quickly. I was able to buy an AR-15.
For me.
There's